We are from Group 4 and we would like to present our project entitled Heart-Shaped Lights Project. Our project focuses on designing and developing a heart-shaped light skirt. This project applies practical knowledge in electronics, especially in design skirt and PCB layout development. This project also involves assembling and soldering a component electronic to produce a functional electronic skirt. And through this project, we able to improve our understanding of LEDs, PCB fabrication, and the operation of basic electronics. Let's move to the next slide is equipment. To complete this project, we have several equipments were used. First equipment is PCB drill station, which is used to drill holes on the PCB board for component placement. Next is soldering iron. It is used to connect electronic components to the PCB. Third component is multimeter. Multimeter is used to test skirt continuity and ensure proper electric connection. We also use power supply to provide electrical power during testing. And then we also have pliers were used to cut and bend components leads. And the last one of equipment is PCB etching machine was used to remove unwanted copper from the PCB board. For component, we use 8 LEDs light, and then we have resistor. The value is 2.2 kilo ohm, 4.7 kilo ohm, and 270 ohm. And then we have capacitor. The value is 1 microfarad and 0.1 microfarad. And we have IC 55 timer, which is to generate timing pulses. And I also have IC 4017 counters, which is control the LED sequence. And finally, the PCB board that serves as a skirt platform.
So for the methodology heart-shaped light project, we use two methods, which is first is PCB development, two is soldering. Now I will explain the methodology for our project, starting with the PCB development process. This process consists of 5 main steps. First, we designed the heart-shaped layout using PCB software and printed it on black paper. Second, we exposed the PCB to UV light for 80 to 120 seconds through the printed layout to transfer the circuit pattern. Third, we developed the PCB using developer solution at 45 Celsius for 2 minutes, then wash and dry it. Fourth, we etched the PCB using an etcher machine at 40 to 46 Celsius, running it 2 to 4 times until all excess copper was removed. Finally, we drill holes for the component leads. These steps were done carefully to produce a high-quality PCB. Now I will explain the soldering process. After the PCB was fabricated, we proceed to solder all the electronic components onto the board. This process consists of 6 main steps. First, we insert all components, resistor, LED, capacitor, IC55 and IC4017 counter into the drill holes, checking polarity carefully. Then we heat the pad and component lid with the soldering iron and apply solder to form a volcano-shaped joint. Af- After soldering, we let the joint cool, then trim the excess leads using a wire cutter. Next, we inspect all joints to ensure no short circuit or cool joints. Any issue will fix by reheating or using a solder wick. Finally, we clean the PCB and test it using a multimeter and power supply. Safety precautions were followed throughout, including wearing safety glasses. Now, let me present our results. Our project was a success. The PCB was successfully fabricated with a heart-shaped layout. All components were soldered neatly and the LEDs light up as expected. All three group members participated in the soldering and testing process. For the discussion, most of our solder joints were shiny and volcano-shaped, which indicates good quality. We also ensured there were no short circuits. However, we faced some common issues. We had cold joints, which we fixed by reheating. We also had solder bridge, which we remove using a solder wick, and we avoid overheating by controlling the temperature properly. Overall, the Heartshade Light project was a complete successfully.
In conclusion, this lab successfully got us from a digital design to a working hardware prototype. First, we simulate the circuit inputs to catch any error, and then we fabricated the physical PCB and solder the components. That give us a great hands-on experience in manufacturing and troubleshooting. Our suggestion for improvement: first, for design, use a double-layer PCB layout and optimize component placement to reduce wiring complexity. And then for hardware, add a protective casing and use a higher quality components to improve the durability against dust and moisture. Next, for creativity aspect of our project, we use a Proteus software to test the circuit so that we can save a time, and then we create a compact and organized PCB layout to a cleaner look. After that, we arrange the components systematically and need soldering technique to ensure both high reliability.
Assalamualaikum, hari ini saya akan tunjukkan demo hardware untuk projek Heartshade Light kami. Ini adalah PCB berbentuk hati yang telah kami berjaya fabrikasi dengan semua komponen yang dipasang.
Saya tunjukkan kualiti soldering kami. Solder joint berbentuk volcano dan berkilat menandakan soldering yang baik. Tiada shortcut antara pin.
Sekarang saya akan sambungkan PCB pada power supply yang bernilai 9 voltage. Seperti yang dapat dilihat, LED heart-shape berjaya menyala, semua LED berfungsi dengan baik dan corak heart-shape kelihatan jelas.
Saya akan menunjukkan ujian menggunakan multimeter. Saya juga akan melakukan continuity test and buzzer berbunyi yang menandakan sambungan baik. Voltan pada setiap LED juga dalam julat yang betul.
Kesimpulannya, projek kami berjaya dan berfungsi sepenuhnya. Semua komponen dipasang betul, soldering kemas dan LED menyala mengikut corak.
Sekian demo daripada kami. Terima kasih.